back inside the Now Morning Show. I told you guys I'm in a throwback mood this morning, so I have some penguin playing in the background there, talking about Betty Goat, and I played that one because we're getting ready to do a recap rather of the Buccoo Great Race and the Crab Race as well. This morning, I want to welcome the two hosts who actually held it down earlier this week, Kidani O'Connor and Oshun Mills. They join us via phone this morning. Good morning to you both, and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Morning. Thank you for having us.
Good morning to everyone, and thank you for having us here today.
Not a problem. All right. So first of all, let me ask how it went down. Oshun, let me start with you. Tell me from your perspective, how was the goat and the crab races?
Well, let me talk about the event because, it started off a bit rocky with the weather, but it definitely pulled through, especially in the second half with the people, the energy, the vibe, the food, everything just came together really nicely. The races were exciting. It's been a while since I myself been to the Buccoo coach race. So it was definitely an experience for me as well as the patrons who came out as well.
Lovely to hear that. Kidani, from your perspective, what is the most exciting part about it?
The most exciting part, for me personally, would be just to see the evolution of where goat race came from. Now, as a past spectator of the goat race, it was really nice to see the transition. There were so many different elements to the goat race this year. And I was talking to a friend and I was saying that, this year it didn't feel like goat race. It actually felt like a festival. It felt more like a festival. There were so many different elements to it that made it into something else, into something greater than just goat and crab race. So I feel like we probably might need to revisit the name because it's more like it's feeling more like a festival, and I think it has the potential not only to attract Trinidadians but international audience. Because while reading through the comments, I was seeing persons tuning in from Canada, people from the USA, people from Poland, people from all over the world. So I'm seeing that this has the potential to go worldwide and attract more persons to Tobago.
Tell me about some of the things that made it more than just the races.
Happy that you asked. So one thing in particular was the initiative where they had different businesses to promote themselves at the event. So, for example, there was healing with the horses, right? They would have done a segment where they had horses coming through. They had different elements to just display what healing with the horses is like. They also had stuff like the Greedy Man competition, which was an opportunity for the rotisserie factory to more or less advertise their product, right? Even the fact that Digicel was there, that means a lot because that means that we are gaining that traction that we need, because oftentimes we want to hold events and we want to make it profitable. So the fact that we had those kind of sponsors on board means that it's going in the right direction. And, it's an opportunity for the locals as well to get into the act. There was Juby, who is a local artist. He had the opportunity to perform there. The rhythm section. There was even the kids VR gaming zone. So it appeals to all audiences. So even if the child doesn't like the sun, we have a little segment where they could play some games, they could have some fun. So it was appealing to all audiences, and it just made it compelling. Even the performance by tourism, right? They had a whole festival going through the street with devils, jab. Jab is something that is dying, that I thought was dying. So seeing young people, young children actually engaging in the jab was so beautiful to me, because I feel like these things need to be nurtured and cultivated so that Tobago doesn't lose the essence of our culture.
I fully agree with that. Let me jump back across to Oshun. And one of the things that Kidani mentioned over and over was the different audiences that it appealed to. What did the attendance look like this year?
To me, it was amazing because it had individuals from all over the world. We had Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Jamaica. So, it was definitely there. I would have loved to see more locals, more engaging locals, actually, I should say that. But, the event was packed, and we have to give it up to those who actually came out because, as I said before, the weather was a bit, dreadful. So I will say the attendance was great. It could be better. It could be more supported by the locals. But all in all, it was definitely one for the book.
Tell me, Oshun, when you say it could be supported more by the locals, what do you think? I mean, if they add all these things, this entire festival feel and everything, and the locals still not coming out, what do you think would make the locals come out more? Oshun?
After COVID, we had a decline in the patrons coming out. So not even this event, but most events in Tobago.
Okay.
So I will just say to kickstart a new team, a new promotion team to really get the people out, and perhaps, stronger advertisement because before I came to the event, I didn't know so much local performances were going to be there, so that could be a incentive for people to come out.
Okay.
I guess better advertisement will be one of the main things. Yes.
Kedani, do you think that not having the jazz festival this year would have impacted the turnout this weekend at all?
That is a very interesting question. Personally, I believe so. I believe so because a lot of people look forward for this season, just for a change, just for something new, a new experience, something to enjoy. Sometimes people just want to slow down. They want to do something different. So I feel like even the fact that the jazz festival wasn't there, what next? Mm-hmm. What is the next thing? What is the next thing that we can do? And as a result of that, I feel like it would have benefited, from in terms of Patriots coming out.
Yeah. Now, Kedani,
I feel like that would have. Mm-hmm.
You both mentioned the international audiences that turned up that were present. Do you think that the goat and crab races can now replace that idea, being that it's growing into this festival? Can it replace that idea of a signature event?
Ask me one more time.
I'm asking if you think the races, the goat and the crab races, can they replace that idea of a signature event bringing people into the island?
Honestly, I will have to beg to differ because I believe goat race is already a significant cultural event to our island. Jazz Festival had its own patrons and its own crowd, but people literally came to Tobago for goat race to experience crab race. So of course, we have loved to have the run over from the Jazz Festival, but I believe that the goat race has its own crowd.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure that we are clear about that because I think that the conversation has been happening about whether or not that jazz festival is crucial to the other things that happen. And I'm really happy that you were able to mention, Ocean, that people came just for the races on earlier this week. So thank you both for joining me this morning, and thank you for the great work that you're doing. If you had to give one word to Trinidad and Tobago as we wrap up this morning, what would it be? Let me start with you, Ocean.
One word?
Well, not literally one word, but you can, if you had to give a message to Trinidad and Tobago regarding how we should be treating these goat and crab races.
We should definitely come out more, support what we have here because what we have here is great, what we have here is special. And, we tend to look at other islands as, being superior to us, but we are a gem. So come to Tobago. If you're in America, if you're in England, come to Trinidad and Tobago and come to see what we have and come to see what you can experience here and take back home. That's it.
Nice. And you, Kedani?
I would just add to what Oshun said, not only come, but be a part of it. Be a part of the festival that we are creating. Be a part of the movement because this is turning into something different. And you want to be on board, right? You want to be a part of it so that when things start going up, you are also on that journey going upward. So come and be a part of it. Whether it is your volunteer, whether it is you have an idea, it's nice that people are coming together and we are working together to get the best possible event. It's so nice to see different sponsors, different persons on board. working together for the betterment of the event, right, and of the country as well.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say just be a part of it. You know.
Well, thank you so much for
Wait,
being a
hold
part
on.
of this conversation this morning and joining us on the Now Morning Show. And do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Mr. Rokas, and you do have a wonderful day. And to all the viewers there, you have a wonderful day as well.
Thank you so much. Take care.